Plus, we're learning about a second investigation that may have been underway into Secretary of State Mike Pompeo when the president fired his IG from the State Department on Friday night. John Roberts has got a mouthful already today on the North Lawn. John, good afternoon to you. Let's begin there now. Hello.
And good afternoon to you, Bill. Just been listening in with one ear to the president's roundtable going on with restaurant industry leaders and executives. Certainly that sector of the economy has been one of the hardest hit with all of the closures. A lot of restaurants are trying to do carry-out orders, but some of the big, particularly high-end ones, have been suffering because they need to get people in the door. It's forecast that thousands of restaurants could go under, if not some restaurant chains themselves. The president did have some good news for the restaurant owners, though, saying that he favors some tax incentives to help them get back on their feet very soon. To one of the other big headlines of the hour, and that is why the Inspector General of the State Department, Steve Linick, was summarily fired on Friday night. We are now hearing from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on that in an interview with the Washington Post. Pompeo saying that Linick, quote, wasn't performing a function in a way that we had tried to get him to, and that he was trying to undermine what it was that we were trying to do at the State Department. There has been speculation, you mentioned this at the top, Bill, that Linick was looking into Secretary Pompeo's use of a political aide to run errands for him, but the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Eliot Engel, believes it was something else. In a statement confirmed to Fox News, Engel said, quote, I have learned that there may be another reason for Mr. Linick's firing. His office was investigating, at my request, Trump's phony declaration of an emergency so he could send weapons to Saudi Arabia. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi weighing in on Linick's firing on the Sunday shows. Listen here.
The president has the right to fire any federal employee. But the fact is, if it looks like it's in retaliation for something that the IG, the Inspector General, is doing, that could be unlawful.
A big turnover in recent weeks among the ranks of Inspectors General. Steve Linick, the State Department, gone on Friday night. Michael Atkinson of the intelligence community, he was also taken out of his position. Glenn Fine, the Department of Defense, is moving on, as is Christy Grimm, who is the Inspector General of Health and Human Services. In the wake of Linick's firing, Iowa Senator Charles Grassley, who tends to be an ally of the president, has renewed his call for the president to explain in writing why Michael Atkinson and now Linick were both removed out of their positions. No word from the White House yet as to whether or not the president will comply. Bill?
Okay, John, thank you for that. John Roberts, North Lawn there. We'll dip in with the president when the questions begin, so stay tuned for that.